live. Hey, greetings, gamers, and welcome to the 100 and oh my gosh, I forgot the number because we are distracted right now. We are late. I'm just gonna get this intro out real quick, and then you're gonna join us on a little adventure. Because I'm doing so many things right now because I decided to start a business. Blah, 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 yeah, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. We will be right back. Greetings, gamers, and welcome to the 191st live stream from the Misfit Gamer Studios. I'm your host, Vortex, and this is D&D Discussions. On today's episode, we have a new playable race coming from Hecate 95. This is a Wyvernian type of race. I'm really curious what this is because obviously it's almost like it immediately reminds me of Draconian or like a Dragonborn race of Wyvern, because we all know Wyverns aren't dragons. So I'm really curious to see if that's what we are going to find out, because I really want to see yet another flying race. But before we get into that, we have updates and I need to finish something. So talk to the good people about some updates that you know of, and then I'll fill in the gaps because I got to finish what I'm doing.
Well, so many things. All the things. Like it's super hype. I unfortunately missed out on the one-shot rivals testing that you guys did last Friday. I'm hoping all went well for that.
I personally think, now Soul said they thought it was a success. I think I got results better than I could have expected.
Okay.
I like for that. What I had to do.
Okay.
I was basically like DMing it. Sure. In the sense of like, I was like, okay, because I was playing all 6 characters and trying to keep like a round system in my head.
Sure.
And also trying to present. So for the most part, it was me deciding, okay, these 2 people are going to go first. Like, these 2 people are just going to be like, I was just going to be like, look, the defenders are obviously, because I'm imagining like the system, right? You have 60 seconds to choose. And based on the first starting position, I'm just like, okay, everyone knows what they're going to first do right at the gate. They're all going to get on the point. Boom, done. So they're all going to be the first one. Then the team's going to move. So I, excelled it. And I'm just like, okay, here's how the movement's going to work. Explained, yes, if they all got on the point, even on the very first round, because we talked about this, the point moves 3 times. At the start of the round.
Yep.
At initiative number 4.
Yep.
And at the end of the round.
Yep.
Initiative, technically 7 or 6 or whatever you want to call it. But 1, 4, 6. So the reason for that is we wanted to adjust how fast it can go. So adjusting for that, they got on the point. It didn't move because it didn't start moving. So at initiative 4, it moved a little bit. And then at the end of the round, it moved a little bit, moving the characters automatically without moving their, thing. But I really just basically had to kind of like do a lot of guesstimation when it came to the fighting. So I was just like, okay, well, based on what happened last round, this person in my mind would be more likely to be the first person to know what they're going to do, because seeing that happen, they're just going to be like, well, it's obvious this is going to happen.
Right.
So I was like, okay, they're going to use this ability and this backup ability. I was trying, because we haven't figured out action economy, though I think I've discovered exactly what we want to do. I've gotten down to what we want to do, but I was like, they're going to do these abilities. They have 4 attacks. Okay, 3 of them are going to hit. I was doing that shit. Because I didn't want to roll. I didn't get it because we don't know how that's going to work yet.
Sure.
That's going to be like, computerized. And I'm probably just going to do like a D20 system. I'm just going to have a computerized D20.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have flat AC.
Yeah.
So it's going to just basically be kind of like that, but no one's going to see it. It's just going to happen. You're going to say like, I use 5 attacks, and it's going to say, 3 hit. Or we might do the rolls. We just want to see how the flow works.
Sure. Definitely.
But yeah, it'd
be nice if at least we could like have a number that like pops up on screen, or like maybe put it in chat so at least they could see what they rolled or something like
exactly
that. Even if they don't do the thing. But
so yeah, we did that. I did a lot of like, just guesstimation on who should hit, how, and then I just, because the damage is flat. Some attacks were automatic. And I just tried to do that. I just tried to narrate what I thought a round would look like based on, I had Soul choose the enemies. And Soul choose the other team. Every now and again, I would ask Soul to give me a choice. Like, hey, this is what just happened. Imagine you're playing this character and you just saw these things happen. What would this individual on your team do?
Got you.
And or I would give, Soul a couple options. Like, hey, these are the 3 things that are most likely what would happen. Which one would happen? Would you go after this person, would go after that person, or would you back off?
Right.
So it was just kind of nice to kind of go
I
through
vibe with that.
I did a lot of the math. The math felt really good. So surprisingly enough, I think we have, as long as we can make it feel smooth, in terms of actual like narration and gameplay,
Sure.
and it doesn't feel clunky like it did on the live stream, I'm very confident in the math.
Okay. So you feel like the numbers that we have for health and damage and stuff
Like,
feel right for a lot of the abilities that can be used?
Like, if someone were to just diabolically roll well, it is a literal one-sided match, no matter who you choose. Like
whoever's rolling well is
the
winning.
first combat, the first moment anybody really got to attack, the enemy teams, the defenders had Wolverine. He jumped in and obliterated in one action, obliterated Loki.
Okay.
Which can absolutely happen in Marvel Rivals.
For sure. Especially Wolverine.
It was just like, I was like, oh, he has this number of attacks and he could do this. He's going to go after Loki. Okay, this number of hit. I did the math and I'm like, oh. So Loki's back in spawn. But then it was just like, for a moment, I'm like, shit, is that too much? And I'm like, that kind of feels right. But then as we continued the narration, it was like, actually, unless everybody just stomps on rolls, it's actually not bad. And what was really cool is we actually got to test a really unique ability that you don't really get to see used in Marvel Rivals, but you do get to see used in one-shot Rivals. So one of the things that I learned about, like just on the spot, I was like, okay, Loki just got sent back to spawn, and the cart's well on its way.
Sure.
And now they're contesting, and there's just movement happening. So I was like, okay, well, Loki only has 6 movements. So I'm like, okay, Loki moves 6. I'm like, so he's just going to do that. And then I'm like, wait a minute, no. Play as Loki. Think about the layout. Because I was like, think about the list. I had it in front of me. I'm like, what would a player look at and go, I'm fucked. What am I doing? I'm like, wait, I have 6 movement and I can use my abilities. And I was like thinking about action economy. I'm like, wait a minute. Based on the action economy I'm building, you could either do a main action and a side action or 2 side actions. Is kind of like the idea. And I was like, I doppelganger, which has 45 feet distance. As a side ability.
I like this.
So I left spawn for 6 feet, or for 6 squares.
Yep, 6 squares.
Then I doppelgangered 45 away.
Okay.
And then I did my free action of insta popped into my doppelganger. Now I was 10 feet from combat in one round from death. And I'm just
my next question is like, what is getting back to point look like for these characters?
Some of them it will suck, but for someone like Loki, you can't do that. Like in game, that concept, like it in Marvel Rivals, putting down your doppelganger and teleporting to it is slower than just running to where you could go unless it's like up high, right?
Sure.
But in this, the fact that you only have so much movement, but you could literally triple your movement, I was like, when I came up with that, I was like, damn, that's fucking brilliant. That right there is going to make Loki so click.
I can't tell you how many times I still see people doing that, like in actual game. And so I love that that's what we got going on. And I really think that because you got to think that was first point. So that point was as close to the home base as possible, right? That's why we have the middle point for the pushers, right?
Right.
And so they can spawn closer to the point later on in the game. Now I'm curious, like how, like, did you get the thing all the way to the other point? Did it end halfway through? Like, whatever the case.
I didn't finish the match because it was getting complicated. We were several hours in.
Sure.
For me to continue on, proof of concept was there. Like within that stream, 100% proof of concept is there. It's just that as is, without having a understanding of how to roll and understanding of like being able to keep track of movement, being able to keep track of initiative. It was just getting daunting on me after a long week, but proof of concept is there. The math is there. It's just that what it's going to come down to is how smooth we can make the interactions. And I think, ironically, I guess, I kind of got it backwards. I thought getting the map and like figuring out the map was going to help build the mechanics. I feel like it's the other way around, because while I felt like there could be some tweaks we do to the map, I'm realizing that the interface is actually going to affect a lot more, because the ease of building these combos like I did with Loki, I think is going to affect more about how the numbers balance and how the map movement balances. Because let's say if Loki and only like 2 or 3 other characters can really dominate the type of map that we have, we're going to have to nerf the map. But if once the interactions are actually fluid, maybe what I did on stream with, my head and just basic math, maybe we find out that the math is too weak. Maybe numbers just aren't that good. When I say, oh, he hit 4 out of 5 shots, what if we truly test this in beta?
They need to be more powerful.
And people just aren't killing anyone. Everyone's just literally spending 5 rounds on a map, just being like, bing, 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 heal, 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 bing, bing, bing. And that's the thing. So that's my thing, is I'm realizing that after that test, I'm very confident with where we're at. It's not done. We are not good. But we have something, I think it's worth pushing into the interface phase. Because once we have something, because when we can tweak all the numbers in the background, when I can just say change their damage to this, and then it just changes, and I can have an easy interface where I just tweak their numbers in the background, because that's what it should be, right?
Yes,
100%. It should just simply be, the interface shouldn't change. I should just have, hey, a Google sheet essentially that says here's the numbers that the machine uses. Once we get there, I think we'll have a better chance of tweaking the numbers. I think if we tweak the numbers now, it's gonna not be a good representation of how it will feel once things are fluid.
Okay.
But I do think that we got the action economy figured out.
The vibe for it.
I think that's like the best thing that I figured is, with something like your main action and your secondary actions, there's definitely going to be like 3 tiers. There's going to be like a primary, a secondary, and a free action.
Okay.
And it's going to be some combo of 1 primary, 1 secondary, or 2 secondaries, and then always a free action on top of that. And that's essentially how I feel like it's going to do. And then there'll be movement, as well as, I think on occasion there'll be movement actions, because I don't necessarily want to make all movement, or I guess they'll be their own free actions, right? Like sometimes people can double jump.
Right.
That doesn't really take any of the other actions. So we can either call it its own free action or call it a movement action. So you have movement is your phase, but then you can also take a movement action. I don't know how we're going to do that, or we just all call those all free actions. Any free action can be done.
I see what you're saying.
Like any free action.
I feel like there are certain things that can take up your free action economy, and like stackability, meaning like you can do multiple of them in a turn, because like there's like the ability itself is likely going to have some sort of cooldown, and the frequency of you using that many free actions in one turn, I don't think is going to do too much to disrupt the gameplay.
Yeah, like a free action is considered like Cloak and Dagger being able to switch forms is a free action. But if they had a double jump, I wouldn't mind if they could double jump and change forms
also,
and then still do their other things. Like there's no reason why those two are overpowered. So that's where I'm thinking the action economy goes, is primary, secondary, free, and you can either do 1 and 1 or 2, and then any number of free actions.
Sure.
But when it comes to primary and secondary, it's 1, 1 or 2. I'm thinking like melee is going to be a secondary, and then most of the other abilities are secondary. And then your primary ability and some other things are going to be a primary. Now, granted, melee could also be considered a primary, but we'll have to play test that, because like some of them have combos. But then again, they still are meant to be fast.
I think it, depending on the type of melee they have, like people like Thor having like a dedicated melee versus somebody like
Groot has a dedicated melee combo that actually does something if you get all 3 hits on someone. Yeah. So is that,
I think so does Moon Knight.
Yeah,
so
it's like
about
that being a primary action makes more sense than someone who just has a single punch.
Sure.
So we'll kind of figure all that one out. But yeah, so that's how that went. I was super excited about it. I think it.
No, that's way cool.
Absolutely,
that's phenomenal. So I'm super hyped to see what that looks like as we move forward. But yeah, I saw that we finally had our some dice get rolled. I've been seeing TikToks all over the place of these the one that I just saw earlier today of the glowing dice, like that looked like the gargantuan one.
No. So those are the 2 artifact die. They're gemstones, so I put a flashlight behind them to kind of show off their clarity.
Fire. Fire.
I'm right now, the reason why we're delaying right now for DD discussions is because I'm trying to I just uploaded the YouTube video, the VOD, for that live stream, so I'm trying to put in the chapters So then tonight or tomorrow, I can write down all the timestamps and then also update the shop
so
with the timestamps and all of their stats.
Everything in the shop is going to be on one video.
Everything in the shop was one video.
One video. Okay, got you.
So now I just edited the video down. I actually did it in record time. Just cut out a lot of the fluff,
I guess.
So it's already up. It's 3 hours long. That was a 5-hour stream. It's now 3 hour of a video. But I'm putting in all the chapters for each of the die. So what's going to happen is I'm going to upload this right now. Then we're going to do D&D discussions. We're going to do our homebrew review. Afterwards, I'm going to then probably go through, update all of the cards. So all of the profiles with their timestamps.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go into the shop, update the shop with their timestamps, because they all have the VOD number from the live stream. I put the VOD number on there. I'll put the timestamps on there, and then I will also update each of the items in the shop. Well, no, I decided not to put their profiles in the description because there's a picture. There's no reason to rewrite the profile when you have the picture of it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But I do need to update all of them with their timestamp and either a link or something to the video. But they all have the video code. So
got you. Okay.
Yeah, timestamps. That's what I'm doing right now, and that's what I want to update real quick before we start, just because the video just uploaded to YouTube, and I want to get these on so we're as good as we can be. Okay, so that's classic. Classic D20.
But regardless, those dice look absolutely beautiful. I love that some of them have sets. I love that some of them are solos. And I cannot wait. Saul, you're gonna have to tell me which one is your favorite.
Saul said the excuse me, the artifact and legendary.
The artifact
and legendary, like those were the ones that they wanted.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm probably gonna right now do it at least once a month, depending upon how supplies go.
Okay, cool.
Now I just got to keep pumping out videos on YouTube on trying to sell them or on TikTok. So
got you.
We'll figure out how that's gonna go. All right. So next one. That was the other classic.
But it is. We are headed in the right direction, and we got a bunch of our logos integrated into different places now. So if you guys check out the Discord, a lot of our emblems are updated. I did my best to update all the webhooks. Now, I don't know why I updated the integrated webhook, like the little circle. You know how when you like submit something, your name pops up, and like, you know, for me it's a little ninja. For Vortex, it's his name, Vortex. The ones that I had set up for the what do you call it, for all the webhooks are the old logo, and I updated the logo in there, but it didn't update all of the things. Like whenever I update my personal one, it updates. Whenever Nuggets always change in their
I wonder if they point to a different file. Like if you actually go into the webhook, sometimes they will point to a different file, even though you updated.
Well, see, this isn't the webhook itself. This is actually the integration inside of Discord. So if you go inside Discord and you go into the settings for the integrations, you can see, hey, this is what it looks like. This is what channel this particular integration is pointing towards. And here's the little emblem that pops up when you submit it.
Nice.
So that's the one I changed. I even tried refreshing everything. So I might have to look into that, and maybe it just won't work that way. But I'm hoping at least future ones will post correctly, but we'll see. And boom. Perfection. Pop goes perfection. But it is a good time. It is a good time. So I'm super excited. I actually want to run through and watch a couple of these. I saw you put out a request for a lot of people to say, hey, what do you think's better, rolling in a box or rolling on an open table? Which one did you end up going with? I saw you had a box there, but I don't know if you used it for the rolling.
Yes, so we went with the box.
Okay.
It was much, it definitely worked with the box.
Awesome.
For both camera and just rolling purposes.
Cool.
Still got all the same effects that I wanted to. So yeah, the box was definitely the winner.
Awesome.
And I even pulled TikTok as well, and it just seemed that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. After several posts and the Discord, the box was in.
So were you able to stream on TikTok at all, or
Yes.
was this just?
We did go live on TikTok.
Awesome. Was it on the profiler?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Does that mean we got our follower count that we were hoping for in time?
We did.
Yeah, slay. We love that. So that's awesome. That's awesome. We were able to stream on TikTok. We were able to get it on YouTube as well. Now, did you multi-stream to YouTube, or was this just a TikTok stream for the most part?
This was just a TikTok stream. I did have the tablet up on Twitch for half a minute, but I ended up using the tablet for uploading to the shop. So I ended that. So it was just a single TikTok stream, which it really should be. Like that's kind of what the purpose was.
Yeah, exactly. I totally feel that. And so there's no like what do you call it, record of that, except for probably on your TikTok.
Yeah. So TikTok actually doesn't save the lives. You can only post like 60-minute videos if they're live. So I'd have to cut it down to 60 minutes to even post it. But it will be on the YouTube channel once I'm done. Well, it is on the YouTube channel now.
My question is, how does it get originally recorded? So does TikTok actually
TikTok saves it? They don't save it for public.
Got you.
I can download it for 90 days and then they'll get rid of it.
Got it. Okay. Clean.
So that's what I just have to make sure I get it within those 90 days.
With like you said, doing these once or so a month, I don't see that being a problem. But that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
I had a lot of fun. It was crazy to think that was. I mean, I know not. I took a few breaks, but like 5 hours, it did not feel like 5 hours.
Yeah, I like that. It didn't feel like 5 hours. Like it went faster than that, or it felt like longer.
It did not feel like that long.
Like you were zooming through.
Yeah. It definitely.
That's legit. But so outside of all that, there's probably going to be some more updates once Vortex is all done. But I am excited. I know Hecate popped into chat a second ago. I'm excited for this race.
12.
Kind of like Vortex was talking about when we first got started. It gives me like Dragonborn vibes, but not Dragonborn vibes. And I will say I saw the art for it, and I am hyped to see the direction we go, because it looks very cool. I don't know if this was AI art or what, but it still looks really pretty. So I think we're gonna have a good little time doing this, and yeah, it's I always love the stuff Hecate brings to us, but still, it's gonna be a good time. There we go. And then, but on top of all of that, because we have our logos finalized and everything, my next big project for Misfit Gamer Studios is to put together our own homebrew review format / template. It will be easy for me to adjust. Basically what I'm going to end up doing is drafting up like 2 or 3, kind of similar to how Vortex has been getting the actual logos done. They sent him a couple of drafts. He was like, I like this, I don't like that, and then we can make all those changes. So I'm hoping that before the end of the year, we will be able to have our own custom homebrew reviews to display and put out for you guys whenever we do our reviews. And then I will have the wonderful project of converting all of our old stuff to the new stuff, so that our leaderboard can be just chock full.
So out of 100 rolls,
our original,
this die did not roll a content. 6.
That is its forbidden number.
I'm super excited for that.
All right, so there is our next prestige
depending
die
on
about to
how
go up on the shop. I'll take some photos,
move,
and then we will get to the next.
Yeah. I keep envisioning like what it could be, you know, because I feel like a lot of the, I don't know why I like this vibe, like the negative vibe. Like when you see a regular picture, but then you see like it's negative, it's reverse. You know, I see a lot of the homebrew stuff as a really bright background, dark letters, but like I like the idea of having like almost obsidian background with like white or lighter letters, something like that.
Let's do
It might be hard on the eyes, like who knows, but I've seen other people do it pretty decently. There was one submission that we received. Let me see if I can figure out who it came from. But the original submission that they sent to us had a really, really cool / similar effect that I'm looking to build. So, I'm gonna see if I can take a gander. We were looking in. That should be in our submissions.
Sorry, I'm.
You getting there?
Yeah, I completely confused myself. So I'm just taking a little bit of extra time here.
No worries.
Should be
almost done. Titan. Okay, let's see. It was one of the. It was whichever one had the was the Unicron? I feel like it was the Unicron. It was like the, what do you call it? The Transformers-esque. And weirdly enough, it wasn't an artificer subclass, it was a warlock subclass, even though that sheet had a bunch of other warlock subclasses in it. It's gotta be here. Couldn't have been that long ago. There's no way. Umbral Ember's Descent. Where is Unicron? There it is. We found it. Who submitted that one? It was Desmar. And do I have the original? I don't. Where is it? All right, we're going back to submissions. Now I know.
All right, everybody. Second to last die for today's live stream. There is.
Des. Oh, don't tell me.
And we have one more prestige die.
Des. Hecate, Pokeniner. Des. Oh, it's been a minute. There's the binder. Is that it? You say. Oh, no, it's not that one. 21. Player options? It is this one. Like, look at this. This color scheme looks clean. Like, it might be.
Let's move on to one of our prestige dice. Now I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna save.
You got the dark background,
/dice
bright letters. Like,
don't forget the hyphen.
What I'm.
Let's move on to one of our prestige dice. Now I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna save that one for last. So
I think that is. I think that is pretty sweet.
Let's move on to one of our prestige dice. Now, MisfitGamersStudios.com.
MisfitGamersStudios.com. I'm gonna love hearing that. I'm not gonna lie. Although I feel like we're gonna need to tell people that it's gamers plural, because I can see people only putting one S. But again, that's why we have a link for you guys. 232. Do we? But yeah, this is the type of inspiration that I'm going to be taking. You know what? It is a PDF. I wonder. feel like we're gonna try to avoid too many unnecessary frillies around the outside. And I would tend to agree with that.
Okay. That should be it. So let me double check my writing. Wow. I cannot believe I got all of that done. Okay. There. All of the timestamps are done. I can now fill the timestamps on the cards. And there should be timestamps in the video. Let's see if they match up.
And we're live, finally. All right, well, welcome, everybody.
There's
Greetings.
the intro.
Today, we are going to start.
Oh, it's beautiful. There it is.
Standard classic. Do the one that we've already. All right. Maybe it's just going to be that way. Then it's a 5.
Beautiful.
All
right.
We got it.
3. So this is mimicking.
All right.
Lay.
That episode is now up on YouTube.
Well, so that's okay. So maybe we're breaking the trend, but let's go into the nice long roll. 12.
Code
Let's do
when you go to the channel.
1. Okay,
that's good work.
All right, so
and there are now timestamps and chapters for every die we rolled. 15 dice.
Maybe this is the trickster die.
All of their uncut.
Maybe this one
straight for all the rolls for everyone, and then I basically call them all out. And then of course there's a profile at the end. So that's
NPC, and it looks like it's going to be.
Now that I actually know how long that whole process takes, that's going to be very nice to know.
That is a 6. No wait, is that a 6?
Perfection.
That's an 18. Never mind. Looks like they're going to be
but
really difficult. And then
if anybody is interested,
just, tanks.
link
That's a
in chat.
1. All right, so that is the second one of its 20 through 40. That is a.
And that's great. Okay, so now I just have to update the cards, and then I can go update the products on the website with all of their timestamps.
Fire.
The cards are the most important part because once they sell, then people will have that forever. So that's it. We're done. Goodbye. No.
We're done. Goodbye.
So, this is for Hecate's here, and this is from Hecate. All right.
Yes,
let me
indeed.
take a quick breather. Let me
reset
a little bit on what we're doing here today.
So apparently, who did I see a comment from? I think it was Super Foxer was unable to quantify you combing your hair to a different side of your head.
I don't know where they got. Like, I guess maybe the ones that they show up to, I'm always to the left. I guess that's normal.
I feel like I've seen both sides, both ways.
Well, I think what happened was Foxer never went or hadn't perused the TikTok channel yet.
Oh, okay.
So I think since they've only been here recently, I think I do just naturally do this on stream more.
Okay,
when I don't have it in the ponytail, I do this. But I think
probably because your screen's on that side.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So I think, in general, my TikTok channel definitely shows off much more of my daily hairstyle because I am posting there on daily and I do make content daily. So there's definitely less consistency there. So I did find that comment quite funny.
That's funny. I love it.
All right. What are we doing here? Oh, I guess I lost that one. Well, okay. Well, we will get down to this review here. I'm actually really curious to see what we find here. Otherwise, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing out there? I've been busy. I've been like, it's very nice to have that all done, like all of the business stuff, to have MisfitGamersStudios be official,
right?
And actually call it a business, but it was a lot to cram in such a time frame that I'm still in that weird phase of like I can relax but I can't, and now I have to deal with running 2 TikTok channels because I have to still do my regular TikTok posting, but I also now have to make sure that I'm plugging those dice as much as I can.
Do you find that the dice profiler, like creating content for it, is harder?
Oh no, absolutely not, because it's basically just taking pictures and videos of the dice.
Gotcha.
It's just going to be about the dice, but it's just the fact that I have to be able to do that. I have to remember to. I have to, like, if I'm going to be in the office one of the days, I'm going to have to either the night before take some photos, draft them, and then the next day make sure I post them at the right time. So it's just remembering which account I'm on and who has
that is going to be wild. Like I cannot tell you. I would fully forget. I'm like responding to people's comments as like the dice profiler on Misfit Gamers Studios videos. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to. That's got to be crazy.
But it is nice. It's exciting to have it all done, and I'm, I know that I don't have a whole lot of. It's what am I trying to say? It's strange because we don't really have a large enough community for something like this to blow up on its own. Like it won't just blow up out of nowhere. It's really thinking through what we've been through the last 2.5 years, and I'm applying that to this as basically its own brand, even though it's all the same thing.
Sure,
I have to kind of treat it like where we were 2 years ago.
No, I totally get that.
But I have all of the understanding of like the focus and dedication and what it's going to take. And my biggest hope right now is because with that, aside from us mentioning it, the bigger we get, the more I can mention it and just as a side project. But at the end of the day, it's gonna really have to stand on its own 2 feet. And that just really means that I really have to hope that I put my money on an idea that is unique enough that people actually want it. Because there's plenty of, one-of-a-kind ideas.
Sure.
Whether or not they're unique enough for people to want them is different. And I'm confident. I feel like personality profiles is the way to go.
I think it's going to be very cool. I think a lot of people are going to identify with it.
It's really just getting in front of those people and making it known.
Yes, I will say.
I'm trying to get myself well known on that account in the
people.
dice community. Like I'm trying to follow a lot of other like dice makers.
Okay.
I feel like I don't want to come across as just another dice shop. I don't want to come across as a competitor. I want to come across as someone who appreciates die, who wants to understand them, who wants to get at their personality. So in the future, having someone be able to, call up and be like, hey, I have a brand new set of die. I haven't I could imagine a day where we get big enough, like this concept gets big enough to where getting contacted by someone who makes die and say, hey, I have some coming out of, the cast. I haven't even broke them out yet.
Sure.
Should we profile them? So literally go with a creator who makes die, and before the die ever actually touch a table, being the one that could be called up to go there and set up and actually be the first one to officially roll the dice their very first 100 times, not just arbitrarily because dice roll around all the time. But I could see a future where that could be a thing if we got popular enough. But it's going to take a whole lot more from me understanding trends and understanding what's going to make something like that popular.
Sure.
Versus what we do. You know what I mean? They're two different machines.
Yeah, very, very much two different operations when it comes to commerce versus just content.
Yeah. And there'll be a lot of back and forth, but it'll
find its place. It'll settle.
It should. Let's see. What happened to ChillHop? Why does ChillHop always mess up?
ChillHop is being disrespectful.
It's not chill.
ChillHop ain't chill, yo.
Why does it seem like ChillHop's hella loud?
Is it? I can't.
It is hella loud.
Why are you like this?
Who hurt you, ChillHop?
You did.
All right. Well, anyway, so if you haven't heard, the Dice Profiler is live. The only place where you can get to know your die before you buy.
Right.
I'm happy with that one.
I like that. It's a vibe. It's a whole vibe.
Get to know your die before you buy, and then 100 rolls, 10 stats, 1 personality. I feel like those are just good concrete, straight to the point, easy to remember, easy to understand, and they're very brand centric.
It feels like it flows and it feels like it sticks. You know what I mean?
So those are the two new catchphrases I have to, aside from Beyond the Book, I have to get used to.
For sure.
The Dice Profiler from the Misfit Gamer Studios. Only place where you get to know you die before you buy. And 100 rolls, 10 stats, 1 personality.
Yes.
Different uses, but I like it. All right, well, let's get to this homebrew review, which is what everyone's really here for.
Isn't that right, Hecate?
All right, let's find out what Hecate has in store for us with the Wyvernia, or the Wyvernians.
Please tell us we're saying that right. Wyvernia. Because that's what I thought.
Wyvern, and then Ia. So it's Wyvernia or Wyvernia, depending on how you spell or how you pronounce Wyvern. Or Wyvern.
Fair enough.
Or Wyvern. I don't know. Anyway, so we have a new playable race from Hecate, the Wyvernia. Let's start, as always, with the description. The Wyvernians are a remarkable race born from the melding of draconic bloodlines and the primal forces of nature. Legends tell of ancient drakes who roam the skies, guardians of their domains, and protectors of the natural order. As civilizations grew and worlds changed, these powerful beings evolved into humanoid forms to adapt to the encroaching societies, allowing them to interact more easily with other races while retaining their connection to the wild. Through the ages, the Wyvernians have developed unique traits based on their ancestral habits. Each branch of the Wyvernian's tree adapting to its environment while preserving its core values of strength, freedom, and independence. This is giving me like Tiamat vibes. Like, you know what I mean? Like old school Dragonborn Tiamat follower mentality, right? The strength, freedom, independence. I mean, add justice, and you're basically just, right? you're following through with that Tiamat. Yeah, America with American. Just say it a bit different. Yeah, Wyvernian. I don't know if you've ever, there's some places in America where people just decide that, there's way different ways to pronounce things. Like, we can't even agree at the time.
Accurate.
I mean, just ask anybody from what state they're from, and then go anywhere else and ask someone to pronounce that state. That right there is like fight on sight in terms of what you're supposed to say.
What the heck?
Like that absurd TikTok that tried to proclaim that people from California don't say Cali. Like, real Californians don't say Cali. Be like, what part of Cali are you from? Because born and raised, we absolutely do.
That's crazy.
That must be a,
that's crazy.
That must be a SoCal thing.
Yeah. But see, I know SoCal people.
Shade, 100%.
I know. See, that's wild. That's wild.
All right, so this is so you were talking about this. Maybe this is definitely, I don't know. Did we find out if this was AI art or not?
I don't know if it's AI art, but
I do like the dragon scaly body.
I'll say the fingers look too good to be AI art. So
that's a good point. And the tail is actually like representative. The wings are pretty
they look like they're coming from the right place, even though they're off the screen type stuff. So
yeah, nothing looks like it's coming from out of nowhere. So I mean, if it isn't AI, it's definitely one of the newest AI models.
Sure.
But I like it. So one of the things that I was kind of hoping for is, what was the last race that we did last week? The Harpy?
Yes, the Harpy.
When I heard Wyvern and Wyvernia, I'm immediately...
You were hoping for the arms.
Oh, it is AI. Wow, that's actually surprising for AI.
That really is.
The eye is the only thing where I can kind of tell. Like, the eyes are a little bit off, but everything else is actually surprising. Well, I guess there's a little weird finger there, but you could just mistake that for something. Anyway, it's the wings, yes. When it comes to being a wyvern, the fact that they have only wings and 2 legs and don't have appendages, like they don't have actual frontal appendages, makes me immediately question this, because my first instinct was that I expect the arms and the wings to be one and the same, similar to what we saw with the Harpy last week.
Yep.
So that I will try not to have a too big of a bias, but that immediately strikes me as inconsistent with the fact that this would have been brought from wyverns. Like, even if you could have said that there was just like, you know, they could be fully humanoid with webbing, almost like person, like a humanoid skin, you know, squirrel suit.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of like wings, but like hands, but then like, you know, kind of just there. I just would have felt. I think that's the direction I would have rather have gone. But we'll see exactly how we feel.
Okay.
So we get some lore.
We do get some lore. Yes, like I said, this is a little bit more of a chunkier one than we normally get when it comes to races.
Get lore. Let's just soak it in. We get some lore.
Soak in the lore, guys.
Okay, society. Wyvernia's society is tribal based, with each tribe led by a chieftain chosen for their strength, wisdom, and ability to protect their kin. While they cherish their independence, Wyvernians understand the importance of unity in the face of common threats. They form temporary alliances to confront dangers, whether from monsters, invaders, or environmental calamities. Respect for the elders is paramount, as they are seen as the keepers of wisdom and tradition. Wyvernians value personal strength and honor, often embarking on quests to prove themselves and bring glory to their tribe. For some reason, when I read the idea that they are chosen for their strength, wisdom, and ability to protect their kin, I was, for whatever reason, because, you know, my brain's not right, I was taken to a fantasy version of like what we saw in the Spartan 300, where the kids are like basically like tossed out and they have to survive.
Oh,
I was thinking a version of that.
Interesting.
But where it's the same premise, but they're like one or more of their immediate family members are also thrown out there, but they're rendered useless. And you're done, you know, this is done with the other ones. So therefore, it's like you have to spend a week with your family unable to help, but you have to protect them. And the one that comes back with the least family members
injured, died.
Yes,
yeah,
they would be the ones crowned like the victor, being like, because I'm just like, how do you the ability to protect their kin? I get that it's more metaphorical of being able to be a protector, but my mind just went to this like really tarnished 300 mentality of, yes, here, go take your little sister and you must protect them for 1 week. And if you lose any number of them, you know, you go.
If they lose any of their fingers or any of their appendages, then you lose points.
But I do like this. I really like this ideology, because again, this would give me so much as a playable race. You give me this, and then suddenly you present me and my players with someone trying to tell us what to do, someone we agreed to work with, and they want to be confrontational. I, as a player, would be the one to step in and be like, excuse you, like, no, we got to do this, you know, try to calm the situation down. And when they ask why, be like, because we still have to respect the fact that like he's the one that tells us, you know what I mean? Like, you're instilling these ideologies of where the character came from. Now, I know that there's a, you know, we've talked about this with alignment too. There's a lot of players out there who would see this and be like, so you're just trying to shoehorn me, I have to play this only a certain way. And it's no, you could choose to buck society. But again, just like alignment, that would mean that you're more chaotic, because you don't want the society that you grew up in. You don't want the form and the structure. So you would lean more chaotic. That's fine. But people want to act like, well, so that means I can only do one thing. It's like, no, what you do is a reflection of who you are, not the other way around. A reflection of who you are doesn't make what you do. And this is one of those opportunities where it just gives me a foundation to say, I came from the society. So when someone of authority tells me something, I am not bound by this societal rule that says, well, I have to agree with them because we all agree you're the team leader. But if my character came from the society and I agree about this, then yeah, I'm going to be more interested in leaning with it. Or I'm at least going to have a more internal struggle when I want to buck, you know, the authority and figure.
Yeah.
But if I chose that I left this society because of this structure, I shouldn't be just so malleable to be ordered around. Like, this is what I mean by when you create a character. I feel like there's so many people who just want the universal character that can do anything with no harm, you know, with no harm and no foul. And it's like, this is the problem, is you want to be able to do whatever you want in the moment without recognizing that in reality, that's not how anyone operates.
I will say, I think the idea of, and this is the problem that I have with people that say that's what my character would do. The answer is no, they wouldn't. Right? Because the reality of the situation is everyone is the way they are for a reason, right? You've had experiences, you've lived a life, And so you're here now and you think this way because of all this other stuff that's been ingrained into you forever. And all of a sudden, magically, because it happens to be more convenient in this moment, you're going to just say,
that's what my character would do.
Bunk all that. I'm just going to.
Yeah.
Since when? No. That's what a lot of this information is for, is to help you identify and recognize the things that you're using to help you make these decisions for your character. It'd be like, oh, they would have thought of X, Y, and Z. And if you want a character that, we'll say, has the ability to say, forget that. Because like somebody like me, IRL, like there are elements that are hard for me to do, right? There are certain situations it's easy for me to say no, but other situations it is difficult for me to say no to certain people about certain things because of how I conditioned myself, things that I've been through, whatever the case may be. So it's not like
that's why
I'm incapable of
this
saying
is exactly
no.
This is a great argument, because this is exactly my argument for why alignment guiding you is so important. Everyone feels like, oh no, it's, you know, it's forcing me to do something. It's like, no, the reason you chose these factors for your character, the reason you chose the class, the background, the race, all of these things, it's, you know, if you're just choosing them for the benefits and then you're telling me, well, you know, alignment's just a shoehorning, and I'm like, so then why did you choose all these other things if not just for the pure mechanical benefit? That means you're metagaming. It means you're a min-maxer. And this is where I stand, is like, there's a big thing on TikTok of why min-maxers are bad. They're not bad, but this is why those that care about the story and the narrative, why we have such a visceral reaction to it, is because when we try to explain what's actually going on and then you try to argue that, well, it's in character, it's like, no, what it is you mean is it mechanically makes sense with what you were allowed to do. But none of that matters when you're not taking into account the fact, like, if you want to be a monk and if you want to be a monk, paladin, bard, but all you want to do is be a murder hobo, like, you know, like it doesn't fall into a good explanation when you chose everything for pure stat base, but you don't understand the implications of what that means. When you choose this race, again, doesn't mean you have to honor authority, but coming from that background, you have to choose what does that mean for your new mentality. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Or were you always neutral? Did you think it wasn't because that choice is not about forcing you to make choices in the future, but it should tell me how I can expect you to react.
Give it a reason.
Yes.
I really think that's what it comes down to, is because can a lawful good person save someone's life? Yes. Can a lawful good person kill someone? Also yes. Can a lawful good person theoretically betray somebody? Also yes.
Can a lawful good person steal?
Yes. You just have to give it a reason. Why does that character think what they're doing is lawful good?
Or at least, why does it make sense to them in this moment? Because it's one thing, like, again, this is why I love the second edition mindset, where I can take a character who is lawful good and they can be put in a situation where, again, let's say their nemesis has done nothing, you know, gaming session after gaming session, campaign after campaign, years of the character's life has done nothing but torment them. And, you know, this character has done absolutely everything great, right? You know, like, helped orphanage, like, basically this character has lived the pure hero lifestyle, but has a nemesis who just wants to absolutely ruin their life and make everything, you know, just a living hell. Giving them the opportunity to face that person after such another yet a traumatic event and let that person take a life is fine, right? That makes, you don't even have to explain it to me. In that moment, you taking a life is totally understandable to everybody, and it probably won't tarnish your alignment immediately. Because in that moment, there's kind of that forgiveness of, like, you were overcome. It wasn't what you weren't, like, gone there. But
even in our legal system, they have things called crimes of passion where you don't get the same effect as if it was premeditated.
And that's where I'm just like, there are moments where there's that versus the lawful good who does all the good things, but every time they do it is for the intent of, I'm trying to get after this person because this is my only goal. When you finally do it, like, you might see a bit of a change. And this is, again, why I like the second edition alignment system, is because alignment can shift. It can be changed because it's meant to be, again, a consistency guider. It's meant to just give your idea of where is your character's mind at, not you're not allowed to do anything that you want to do. It's like, the question is if you want to do something that doesn't match your alignment, honestly, like Kage said, you need to be able to explain why does it not match your alignment?
You talk a lot about player entitlement. I think something that players are not entitled to is deciding their alignment. I think that your actions in game should decide your alignment. So as you play the game, your DM will assign you an alignment.
See, I don't mind that, but that's where I just feel like, again, that's part of the entitlements. I don't mind that. I think that system's fine. That's kind of how it works in High Point, because over time your alignment can change, and we'll do check-ins. But that's where I think the entitlement starts, is the idea that they don't have to choose it, because, well, why should, it's like, yes, if you don't know your alignment, you should be able to work with your DM and say, hey, I just kind of want to feel out my character. Can you let me know where that lets me fall?
Sure.
But my biggest thing is, like, again, it's like the reason you choose your alignment is similar to why you choose your race or your class, and the background is because you're trying to develop a ideology, a system of how you're going to run this character.
Sure.
And those that, in my opinion, those that fight against it and say alignment shouldn't stop me from doing something, tells me that you're running your character off of mechanical benefit, not of narrative understanding.
Yes.
And while I say, like, however you want to implement alignment's
maybe
fine.
My statement was a little harsh and over the top. Like, I will put it this way. Like, if I had a player, like, you can for sure choose your alignment, but, like, recognize that what you're choosing is just a representation of the life that you're about to start living. So, like, with what you're talking about, that sounds like somebody who has the mindset to use alignment appropriately. It's like, hey, I want to choose my alignment at the beginning so that I can have an idea of how, when I start playing my character, what types of things that they would do. And I'm like, I'm so totally here for that. If that's what you're trying to build out, that's what you're trying to do. But I know there's a lot of people who are just like, I want to be perceived as lawful good, but at the same time, I want to be able to kill and steal whoever I want to kill and steal.
I think it's great that any DM be mindful of how characters are, because I think it's I think every DM should have the capability of telling a character or a player to say, hey, you can't do XYZ, or that's not going to work that way, because it does not run consistent with the rest of your character. Because this is where I think a lot of DMs aren't confident enough to say no. This is one of those areas where, if no one wants to assign alignment, but again, you have someone who is constantly choosing the diplomatic option, constantly doing the right thing, constantly talking their way out of it, constantly doing that, and then out of nowhere, in a situation that is not in character and not necessarily in line with a way that makes sense logically, and they want to do something that's not talk their way out, I think every DM should have the opportunity to be like, that doesn't fit with your character. Like, you don't have an alignment, but that's not your character.
I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, but characters that are like that, like, I don't know why certain people would notice that and want to go talk to them and be like, hey, you seem to be helping me out a lot. Like, in game, like, have some weird demon just pop up and be like, bro, you took care of, like,
an alignment demon.
Not even, like, maybe, but, like, maybe just some demon where it's like, hey, you've been killing all these people. You've been doing my job for me. You made my job for the last 2 years like that much easier. I appreciate you. Here's this cursed gift that you can now have. You know, like, and just put something on them. So, like, hey, you want to be this holy person. Now you have a demon that you're friends with because you've been helping him out. Like, how's that going to look to your god? How's that going to look to your to your paladin, to your oath, to your whatever?
I actually have a way to do it for those DMs who would want a more mechanical way to do this. No, because that's a great narrative way. I love that. Like, just do anything like a good DM would do, is just turn it against them. Do the Jin thing. Here's a way to do it mechanically. And I don't know, like, how you have inspiration points? They would essentially be like demotivator points. So what you can do as a DM is, anybody who does something like that, you can say, hey, that's going to be outside your character, outside your alignment, outside your normal.
Sure.
I'm not saying you can't. You can do that. But you're going to earn a demotivator point, or, whatever the anti-inspiration point.
Right.
And an anti-inspiration point is similar to inspiration points, except you don't get to use them. I do, as the DM. So if I put 2 on you over time, at any point I can use it like an inspiration point, but the opposite way. You can make a roll and I could be like, I'm going to call in one of my anti-inspiration points, roll that again because I don't like how high that was.
Sure.
And that way you could give players like, this is how the universe, this is your, you call it karma points.
I kind of like that.
You call it karma points. You would basically say you can do this, but because it's against your alignment, your belief system, your ideology, you will get a negative karma point.
And I would
And at which point, anytime I'm allowed to as a DM, either I'm allowed to as a DM, or at any point I can roll to activate it. Like I can roll a D6 and on a 6 or a 5, I can activate it.
Yeah, I would love it if something like that happened, and like you set it up to where you specifically used it when they're doing something that is their alignment finally. Like say they want to be really nice to like a little kid, or like go convince somebody from a church or whatever,
but it ends up wrong
and they totally screw it up, and weirdly enough, like a shadow or like some weird flash in their eyes just goes across their face, and they
remember why, like,
they look scared, and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to fuck with you, man. No, get out of here.
No, I like that. Actually, I think we might put that in the ADMG, negative karma points.
That's cool.
I think either just call them karma point, and honestly, we could actually
work both up or down.
Actually, let's do that. Let's put that in the ADMG. We'll call them karma points. Maybe we just rework the inspiration system, because for a long time people have talked about how inspiration and guidance are kind of just losing value, and they're kind of just like they're consistent, especially when the character has them. I think an overall one for the DM to put out karma points, where instead of just giving characters inspiration, you give them karma, and they work the same as inspiration, but I think that there should be positive and negative karma.
Sure.
And when they go against their character, you give them negative karma, which gives you the chance to activate. And I think that would be it, right? Instead of it just being on the DM, because I know a lot of people would fear the DM not using it in good faith.
Sure.
But I don't mind something where if you have a negative karma point, the DM is allowed to roll a D6 whenever they want. Whenever you make a roll, they can roll a D6. And if their D6 is a 5 or a 6, they can have you re-roll it at the cost of a karma point.
Okay.
So if you have a negative one and I keep rolling D6s every time you roll, and I'm just getting, 1 through 4, sucks to be me.
Sure.
But the moment you roll and you're like, fuck, crit. Now, re-roll that crit. And I'll take a karma point off of you. That's where I think that mechanic would make sense, and it still makes it to where it's still like karma. It's not a chosen point in time.
Right.
It's still potential, because you never know when karma is going to get you, but the DM should have the choice of trying. And that's the problem too, is in 5th edition we don't have anything, like DMs aren't given any tools to rein in their characters outside of in real world trying to be that person that can actually have real world conversations with people and wrangle human beings and adults like their children. That's why a lot of DMs feel like it's babysitting.
Right.
Like, there's people that struggle with that, but we also just in general don't get a lot of benefits when characters act out. Like, the biggest thing we can do is just say no. Right?
Sure.
But in game, we should have a way to say, hey, I'm not going to say you can't do that. But the game itself has something for that.
Yeah.
I think negative karma points are going to be it. I think that's a much better system to handle things like inspiration, because with negative karma and positive karma, we could essentially have it like that, where instead of it adding to your bonus, karma could truly be the aspect of advantage. Positive karma is you get to choose to have advantage. So the next time you roll something, you're like, I'm going to use a karma point and re-roll, and I'm just going to take the higher of the two, not re-roll, get the higher of the two. And the same thing with bad karma is it's just going to be at a disadvantage point. You're just going to re-roll and take the lower of the two.
Got you.
Because if you roll a 15 and then I make you re-roll with the negative karma and you roll a 20, you shouldn't get the 20. It's negative karma.
Yeah.
So the idea would be positive karma is advantage at choice after the roll, and negative karma is disadvantage at DM's choice, but on activation.
Yeah.
And hell, all activation, anytime the player wants to activate it, they have to roll a D6. It could always be based on a D6. So again, you never know when karma is going to hit. It's never a choice. You hope karma might hit right now.
Sure.
But you never know when karma is going to come back around. So maybe that's how we officially do it. All karma points are a D6. Positive ones are player choice. Negative ones are DM choice. And they will activate on a roll of a 5 or a 6. And it basically just gives you another chance.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I like that. All right. Sorry, Hecate, for the delay. Let's move on. We have culture now. Nice. We had siding. Now let's talk about culture. Wyvernians are organized into tribal communities that reflect their elemental ancestries. Each tribe holds unique customs and traditions. Did Wyverns have elemental ancestries? Are there elemental
I feel like
Wyverns?
they're very similar to dragons. They've got to have.
I mean, why
like
not?
Red ones and blue ones and whatever.
There's gotta be. Okay, well, we got 4 here. Let's see what Hecate has in store for us. We have Frost Wyverns. These tribes celebrate nature with seasonal festivals, incorporating music, dance, and rituals that honor forest spirits. They act as guardians of the woods, believing in maintaining the balance between civilization and nature. Oh, I'm sorry, forest, not frost. That's Forest Wyverns. I like that. I love the added aspect of seasonal festivals, music, dance. That is great. Those are those little tiny details that I really feel 5th edition has lost a lot of when it comes to talking about basically anything anymore. Really just kind of understanding that mindset of what they hold true and what they hold valuable.
Right.
And this also gives DMs a way to add in something. You know, if a character wants to have part of the campaign be where they go back to their hometown, this gives something for the DM to think about. Maybe there's a festival going on.
Quick question. Are wormlings baby dragons or baby wyverns?
They're baby worms. They should be baby worms. And worms are a whole different classification.
These are all under the theoretically, because you know how you have different classes like aberration, and there's a classification of dragon, and both dragons and wyverns are under that classification of dragon.
Okay.
Of like overall dragon.
Gotcha.
But then you have specific dragons, and then you have wyverns, which is like a subtype of dragon.
Okay.
So I'm curious if wormlings is a subtype of, or is a like a part
so
of
wormling would, if it's a dragon type, it would be a wyvern, because dragons don't have a worm form. They're hatched.
Okay.
So if anything,
so they would just be a baby dragon.
A wormling maybe, but it might be a baby wyvern at that point. Again, I don't think they would officially be a dragon, because technically wyverns aren't dragons. They're classified as them, but they're not official.
Yes.
So again, and I know worms are sometimes classified in that, but they're not, because worms are different.
Right.
So
right.
wormling, I would think, is either a worm or it's a wyvern, but not a dragon.
Okay.
Because dragons hatch into dragon form. Like they don't have like a
they don't have a adolescent form or whatever.
Yeah.
No, they're not like a kid.
Unless they've changed that. I don't know. I've never heard of that.
You have dragon, then you have adult dragon, then you have ancient dragon. So I know they have different stages of dragons.
Yeah, but usually you're born straight into a category 0, like dragon form.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, I do like the festival concept. So we now next go to desert wyverns. Living in harsh conditions, they value community and survival skills. Their festivals celebrate rain, featuring storytelling, games, and elaborate art, sand art. They are skilled navigators of the dunes and possess a rich oral tradition.
Okay, we love that. I like how these are like separated out, almost like the different types of elves. Like you have forest elf and whatnot.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like my mind immediately goes to the concept of being able to navigate by dunes, because dunes are ever changing and constantly, changing with the winds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I like the idea of being able to read dunes based on like knowing the weather and everything based on like how they're shifting. Navigating is interesting though, because if you're navigating with something that's constantly changing,
unless they change in very specific patterns. So it's like, hey, like, because it's this time of year, the winds blow in this type of pattern.
So you should know what
I know
to
it's going from east to west. I know it's going from north to south.
And maybe that's the concept. Maybe it's not the dunes themselves. Maybe it's the perception of the dunes, but it's how they move that they kind of know where things are.
Okay.
Like it's more about the shadows and the sun and the wind.
Yeah.
But they're using the dunes to use those 3 things. So you think they're reading the dunes, but it's really the dunes that are the medium in which they read the other 3.
You know how when you put like sand on like a speaker or whatever and like play certain waves, they'll like create certain things. Like imagine like the sand dunes based upon whatever earthly vibrations or whatever, like they will have mounds in certain spots and valleys in certain spots in certain areas. So like I think there might be some interesting ways you could mess with that. That could be kind of cool.
I like that. Yeah, there's things underneath, like that move around that they could feel, vibrations of migrations. Okay. Moving on to ice wyverns. Emphasizing resilience, these tribes host gatherings around fire pits, sharing stories and competitions in ice sculpting. They cherish family bonds and honor ancestry, often creating intricate carvings to communicate their heritage. I like the twist that they actually gather around fire pits, and they're not just, creatures that enjoy the cold. They're just ones that suffer the cold.
Right.
I like that we're using that instead of just the
cool.
standard, oh no, we need the cold. It's like, no, you're just surviving it. You're just good in it. That's cool. I really like how that's working out. So we have forest, we have desert, we have ice. So now we have storm wyverns embracing adventure. They celebrate storms with chaotic festivals filled with competitions of and feats of strength. Their culture values exploration and sharing the knowledge and sharing of knowledge, leading them to form alliances with other races. That's interesting.
Cool. So storm dragons are probably the most, or storm wyverns are the ones you'll likely see in like littered in other towns. Like you'll see one as a blacksmith and like some
would make sense, yeah.
You know, what are they called? Dwarf town. I don't know why that took me.
Okay. I'm liking this. We get also, we get even more. We get appearances. Wyvernians are striking in appearance, often standing 6 to 7 feet tall, with scaled skin that varies widely in color depending on their ancestry. Desert wyverns may sport sandy yellow and warm browns, while forest wyverns may have rich green and earthy tones. Storm wyverns may display electric blues and silvery hues. Ice wyverns often bear icy whites and deep blues.
If you had to guess, what would you say our art picture represents?
I mean, it's the deep blues.
We got some blues. Was that storm?
Yeah, that's probably got to be a storm. Well, I mean, there's fire around it. Let's see what the fire one was.
The desert one.
The desert may sport yellows and browns, rich greens, storm might electric blue and silver. You know, that's an icy whites and deep blues. So that's gotta be. Well, this could be this ice one then, because that would be the fire pit that they like to hang around.
Okay, like in the background.
So this would be probably our appearance would probably be our ice.
And we know Hecate loves his ice.
Yeah, and icy whites would be the skin. So icy white skin, deep blue.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then hanging around the fire pit. There you go. So that's probably
clean,
an ice.
Clean. I love that little gem in there too.
In addition to their vibrant scales, Wyvernians possess retractable wings that can extend from their backs. Their eyes are usually large and expressive, resembling those of their draconic ancestors. And their features may include sharp claws and elongated tails with stingers, which they can use in combat. Again, my only note here for High Point is that I don't mind the retractable, or at least compressing.
Fold them in, yeah.
But I still think that they should be attached to the arm somehow. Either something that compresses into their shoulder, something that can actually compress into their side and then fold out, or like a wingsuit. But I think these separate wings somewhat tarnishes the idea that
the wyvern
it doesn't lean in as much to the wyvern build. But that's my only note so far. Wyvernian names. Interesting. Here's a list of names for Wyvernians categorized by their different ancestors to give their sense of elemental heritage. Interesting. So forest Wyvernians can be Thalindra Leaf Scale, Bramble Thornwing, Eldrin Mossfang. Man, these are very old school names. I actually did I did a post, or I made a comment on someone else's TikTok, and I keep meaning to make a post about it, but it's kind of a hot take. But you can usually tell the generation a D&D player came from based on the types of names of their characters.
Interesting.
And I 100% believe in that. And
I feel
reading these are very older school naming structures.
I like that. I feel like so this whole little pocket of information we're seeing, you can see all of this information for almost every race in the player's handbook or wherever it is you find them. It's just that traditionally that's not included when you're looking at all that stuff. So not a lot of homebrewers will include that.
I do like it though.
I love that they have all this information in here.
Dunecrest, Frostclaw,
Wild,
Stormrider, Gale Clash, Cloud Strike. Yeah, these are very second, third edition level names.
That's
I like
cool.
it. I like it. I should, I really need to make that TikTok and actually make that short. All right, so now we have racial traits. Ability score increases. Your dexterity score increases by 1, and your constitution score increases by 1. Additionally, choose one from the following options based on your ancestry. For Frost Wyverns, your wisdom score increases by 1. For Desert, your intelligence. Ice, your strength. And Storm, your charisma. I like that because based on what they were doing, the intelligence, wisdom makes sense. Ice, care about strength. Storm are about the storytellers, and they're more likely to interact with people. I like that. Age. Wyvernian male Wyvernians mature at a similar rate to humans, reaching adulthood around 18. They can live to be over 150 years old. Size or medium. Wyvernians stand between 6 and 7 feet tall, with lean muscular builds. Wyvernians tend to lean towards neutrality for their alignment, often valuing balance with nature. However, their individual ancestries may influence their moral compasses.
Love that.
Speed of 30 makes sense. Flight. You have flying speed of 40, but you can only use this ability if there's enough space to spread your wings at least 10 feet. Now it says at least 10 feet tall. I'm assuming that meant 10 feet.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Okay.
So like if you're in like a cavern, like you can't. Like,
I do appreciate the size limit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's better than most other flight options. Dark vision, you can see in dim light within 60 feet as if it were bright light, and in darkness if it were dim light.
Okay.
Keen senses, you have proficiency in the perception skill. And stinger attack. You can make a stinger attack as a bonus action. Your tail is a natural weapon that deals 1d4 piercing damage. When you hit with your stinger, you can use your ancestry's special ability, detailed below. You can use this ability a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. You regain all expended uses after a long rest. How would you feel about a race giving you a leveled upgrade?
First, I just want to say I already love the idea that this stinger attack is tied to the different sub races that you have.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say leveled upgrade, are you talking about like something that you get as a racial ability? It now increases in its stat / ability as once you get to a certain level. I don't mind that. It would depend upon whether it feels like it's necessary to continue to be worth it down the road.
Like, I just feel like with something like this, because we haven't talked about it before, but this particularly gave me the inspiration. What if this were to, at a certain level, bypass magical resistance? Like, it becomes considered magical for the purpose of resistance. So you still do the 1d4 piercing plus whatever else it does, but at some point, because you're still Dragon Heritage, because I'm thinking like a Dragonborn gets a breath weapon.
Sure.
So why wouldn't this thing at level 10 be able to suddenly do 1d4 piercing damage, bypassing the need for a magical weapon? That's my only concern is there a way that we could make that work?
I would say
even at level 14, you know what I mean? Like even just at some point in its greater level, it gets just powerful enough that its tail is still usable in combat. Because there's a point at which this will become useless because you need a magical weapon.
Yes.
And at that point, I feel like it's either going to be narratively for the weak, like just for peasants, or it's going to narratively need an upgrade.
I'll say that for every race that has natural weapons, like there's plenty of races that have claws, plenty of races that have bite attacks. I would say that those things would become equally as useless in those scenarios unless you have something out of game like the monk class does that automatically turns your unarmed strikes, which I would consider this to be a part of that, into magical
I'm only
attacks.
bringing it up because it's technically a dragon, because it's more of a magical race than others. That's why I'm saying not the other people, because most other natural weapons don't make sense to upgrade, but for a dragon type creature, that's why I'm just trying to say this one particular gave me the idea.
I do get that, but I would still say because it's more of a natural attack and a breath weapon in and of itself feels like it's more magical, i.e. you're having an element. I wouldn't be mad about something like this having, like, depending on what the special abilities do, like I would love this to have some sort of poison maybe ability that it has, which would be irrelevant when it comes to being resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage, So
let's say, because it gets a couple, each one gives its own thing. So it's probably going to give more than that. But I was just trying to think of would there be any benefit to giving this thing that bump later down the road?
I feel like there should be external things that you can do to give it that capability rather than
give it a magical, a
racial ability
that fits over your tail.
Sure, a spell that can turn there's a spell called Magic Weapon. Have that shit on your tail. You know what I mean?
I can see that. Okay. All right, well, let's check out these ancestries because each one gives the tail something specific. So the forest wyverns, they get a nature's stinger. When you hit with your stinger, you deal an additional 1d6 poison damage on top of the 1d4. The target must make a Constitution saving throw, which is DC 8 plus your proficiency plus your Constitution modifier, or be poisoned until the end of their next turn. This damage increases by 1d6 when you reach level 5, 2d6 at level 11, 3d6 at 17, or no, I'm sorry. Yeah.
A level 5, it's a 2d6. A level 11, it's a 2d6.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
17.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, it increases by 1d6. My bad. I couldn't read that in the right order.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. So I do like that. So that's what I was hoping for, is that it at least gets bigger. You do have resistance to poison damage. I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
And skill proficiency in stealth and natural force environments. That's awesome. It's not just a blanket one.
Sure.
It's where you would expect it to be. I like that, especially because of the coloring and its natural area. It knows what to do. I wouldn't even mind if it gave it pass without trace.
Pass without trace is a spell that gives you a flat +10.
Oh, is that how it works now?
That's how it works, and it works on an area.
Like the original version where you basically don't. Like, literally, it used to just be kind of a passive thing you could do, where you just wouldn't leave it. Like, you wouldn't leave broken branches. So anybody
right. Like, you can't
just couldn't, because you would not actually have that. So that's a little bit different, I guess. Again, different versions. But
I would like something
like
to that effect. Something to say like you can't be tracked by other than magical means. Like you can only be tracked by magic in this particular environment.
That would be cool.
I also wouldn't mind advantage on something like this. You know, yes, you get proficiency, but like you get proficiency from a lot of things. Maybe advantage later. Maybe advantage like from the jump is a lot.
Making survival checks. You get advantage on survival checks.
Sure,
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Desert, we get Scorching Stinger. When you hit with your stinger, you deal an actual 1d6 fire damage, and it increases at the same rate as at level 5, 11, and 17. Once per long rest, you can cast Burning Hands as a first level spell. Ooh, that's completely different.
I mean, it's the same, except you get an additional Burning Hands. Go back up to the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's something just completely additive. And you get resistance to fire damage.
Oh, okay. So the first one you get the poison condition.
Yeah, this one you just get to also do Burning Hands.
Got you.
And then you also get advantage on saving throws against exhaustion from heat and the ability to go without water for 3 days.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool. Unique. I like that it's not just like the same thing. Oh, you get proficiency in this, you get proficiency in this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Icarus Wyverns, we get Frost Stinger. You get an additional 1d6 cold damage. They must make a Constitution saving throw, or they have their speed reduced by 10 feet until the end of their next turn. This damage increases at the same rate. I wouldn't mind speed slowed. Like only by 10 feet doesn't seem like enough. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind like
half their speed halved.
Yeah. Resistance to cold, and then proficient in survival skill in cold environments. That's fine. But yeah, I think just at least half speed.
So I'll say this, going back to Burning Hands. Yes, Burning Hands is a spell. Yes, but you only get it once per long rest. All these other abilities you get every single time you use this attack.
That is fair. That's okay. True point.
So I would say the spell might be the lesser of the ones, because these ones are going to happen literally they're going to proc every time, or at least have a chance to. So
that is fair. Okay. And then with Storm, we get Thunderous Stinger, 1d6 lightning damage. It increases at the same rate. Once per short rest, you create a thunderclap, forcing creatures within 10 feet to make a Constitution saving throw, or take 1d8 thunder damage and be pushed 10 feet. You get resistance to lightning damage, and you are proficient in acrobatic skills. I thought that would be persuasion, because of the charisma bonus.
Oh, interesting. So let me see.
So I will say, like, I like the direction they're all going, but I will say they don't all quite. I don't want to say they don't feel equal. They all don't feel quite. Like, I don't mind any of them. They're all great abilities. I think the damages make sense, but
I like that the damage scaling is fairly consistent across the board.
Though, yeah, the damage is fine. I just feel like these added abilities, the Scorching Ray, the Thunderclap, these things, none of them feel congruent to the overall lore. Like, they're all great individually, but trying to understand why that group over there learned Scorching Hands, that one learned Thunderclap, but then the other two, one can just poison, and then this one just reduces to 0. Like, those are things that are like knock-on effects of their abilities, while the other two actually like learn something.
So,
and neither of those really feel like they come from the same place. So that's just as a lore thing.
So the ice one, I feel like feels very on brand because Ray of Frost, the cantrip, does the exact same thing. It reduces your speed. I would like you said, I would like to see it do a little bit more. Because it does the same thing that a cantrip does.
I think the slow is perfect. Like, I think that's the knock-on effect that we want to see. Even the poison, again, because it makes sense. You're poisoning them, then they get poison condition. It's adding this first level spell and then this like Thunderclap. It's like
Thunderclap I'm more okay with, only because like, so theoretically this is where my mind went. Thunderclap is this just really loud sound. Imagine like these guys figured out a way to use their tail as a whip. And you know how sometimes you can crack a whip and it has that loud, like I can kind of see an effect like that being used in a situation like this. So
I mean, I am glad that we didn't get just breath weapons.
For sure. Very much
glad
so.
that we went
very much
quite
so.
literally the opposite direction and got tail attacks.
Yes.
But I don't know. For me, it's just that the other ones had what made more sense for like knock-on effects. I mean, you know, it just, you know, being, because again, they were consistent, right? They were just, you know, no matter what you were able to do it. Adding someone like, again, if you give a non-magic caster a spell now, it's a little bit weird. Like I don't know, there's just things that I'm not saying it's bad. It's just overall, because we got so much, I just don't see these necessarily aligning with everything else. These are just the two things that stand out between that and the wings.
Sure.
Those are just my thing is I would not have given them spells. I think I would have tried a little bit harder to like, again, even if you made like the Scorching Stinger where, you know, you can ignite flammable objects. You have a chance to ignite flammable objects with this attack. That could be beneficial because I could like, I mean, basically you could just you're a free flint and tinder. Or flint and steel. You never have to light a campfire. You can just be like, hey man, can you just, you're like, there, I just, you know, you just flick, you know, like a witch, you just flick your tail and it like I would have given that. The storm one, you know, that one's a little bit harder. Maybe you could blind or deafen someone. Like you could deafen your target when you hit them. Because they individually get a thunderclap. Those feel more in line with how everything else feels. It's just like, out of nowhere, two of these guys learn spells. The other two just get the same effect I expect them to do with cold and poison.
I can see the mindset of like, let's go the direction of conditions for all of them rather than conditions and spell effects. I was also thinking I wouldn't 100% be mad at just the damage and then potentially cantrip effects that aren't magic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like poison spray, like being able to like spray poison out of your tail or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, again, I already love the ice one because you have the Ray of Frost effect, like having that same effect. You could do something. Thunderclap is already a cantrip, so like that, like maybe I like the deafened idea. Like I think the deafened idea is the best idea, especially because that's what you're doing is you're making this like loud pop.
And that's my only thing is like it's they're not imbalanced. It's just that I got so much lore here, and then when I read that, I'm just like that doesn't align with how the rest of them feel. The rest of them feel like they grew into their environments and they've learned how to use their environment. These spells don't feel like you've learned the environment. It feels like again, it just feels more mechanical push than lore push. And I feel like everything else went so direct. But I mean, being able to light, you know, things on fire with this attack, I think it is easily usable in a lot of situations. Even in combat, you could even say, can I light their, you know, clothes on fire? And do they take an extra D4 of damage at the start of their turn if they don't put it out? Something like that would be, that's not too overpowered to, you know, if I can constantly sew someone, I don't mind constantly doing an extra D4 if I light their clothes on fire or, you know, light the environment on fire.
Sure.
And then the deafening them, that one, I'm not sure the true benefits of that, but I could see, that's just one example, but I could also see, I mean, blinding might even be better because it's like a flash of lightning. So you can even blind the target that you hit. Stunning them like a taser, like, you know, once per round or once per long rest, you can stun them like a taser. something like again, just make it feel more like it's imbued as part of their takeover of their environment, not a knock-on of I'm just going to give it something to do. And that's my only thing, is because everything else felt that way. Everything else felt like it really leaned into, they took command of the environment. Those are just the two where I'm just like, I mean, with the desert one, instead of burning hands, whether it's a fire attack, I could even see them having the opportunity of having a burrow, because they're used to traveling through sand. So in sandy conditions, they can burrow.
I was even thinking something just as simple as like, if you make a successful one, maybe you grapple them, and then you can do like 1d4 fire damage for every round that they're grappled or something like that. Like I do get what you're saying. You want something more akin to what they can do. I would say the desert one is the one that feels the most off to me.
I would say that one is,
and I could
the
see
hardest one,
and I could see an argument for the storm one as well. But I
mean, because honestly, like what Hecate is saying is that the burning hands was supposed to be because they deal with art, sand art. I mean, honestly, why not like mold, like stone to clay, or you know what I mean? Like there's that one where you can like change the physical
mold
shape.
Earth, yeah.
So it's like that one makes more sense if they're constantly doing art sculpture. Why not mold earth? Why not move? There's just, again, and then the burrow would make sense with the tail, because their tail could help. I feel like there was just better ways to tie it into the feel other than magic. And I feel like magic, for me, just kind of went the opposite direction as what I was expecting.
Sure.
But otherwise, they're pretty good. I think, I mean, I think the only, there's really only those three. I like the idea overall. I think it's how the wings operate and the placement of the wings, I think, is a little bit lost on me. Just because when we're talking about Wyverns, I feel like we just have to go full on that.
Sure.
So I think I would replace the wings, and I would replace these two spells. Outside of that, no changes. Overall, it's pretty solid.
No, I like it a lot. I love the inspiration that it gave us for all of the different aspects of what these Wyverns are. And like, I didn't really think of Wyverns like that. Like I built this homebrew a while ago, back when I think Hecate first submitted it. And so I had forgotten that there were sub races in here. I'd forgotten that there were like elements that are like this. I also like that, number one, he didn't just say you can choose whatever you want for the stat increase. I like that he gave you specific ones, and then each of the other ones give you a specific one, which I have seen before.
Yeah.
So,
and we talked about this a lot. The ability scores should represent a lot of what you choose, and not just always be free. So I hugely agree with this particular one. This will go along with a lot of good classes. So my only thing is, when it comes down to the description, I think the wings are incorrect. And when it comes down to the lore that was built here, those two particular abilities just don't feel like they fit in with the rest of it.
Sure.
But everything else spot on. So solid 7. Absolutely. All right. Solid 7.
I'm here for it. I am here for it.
What'd you miss? Just the whole review.
Just the whole thing. We're all done now.
Just the whole review. That's okay. But yeah, I like I said, it's really just it's going to be a big. Actually, well, let's see. No, it will be an 8. If it's really just those three, it'll be an 8.
Okay.
Because realistic, and it all, it's definitely good for the inspiration point as well. It's just really it's a point off for the Wyverns, and then the other two for just the spells just don't match with the lore. So those are those two issues. But other than that, yeah, solid 8. Everything else about it is great. There's nothing really wrong with it. I just, I would need to fix that up a little bit.
Okay. Slay.
Does it have a 5 speed, a 50 for Kage to do a backflip over again?
Listen, it wasn't 50 today, and I was aware of what it was.
It was only 40. The fly speed was only 40. I'll let you.
I wasn't caught off guard like Nani.
Here, I'll give you a few seconds on each one to kind of go through. But we got a Wyvern, like kind of like a Dragonborn, but for Wyverns.
Yes, exactly.
We got some society and some culture, which was really nice to go over. And then we've got 4 different types: frost, desert, ice, storm. So we got some nice little ideas of how their culture goes. We've got some options for names, which I really do appreciate.
Yes, I am very glad that they went that direction.
So yeah, that mommy dragon pick must be giving it a +5 on the score. +0, +5 is maybe 6, 7, maybe 6, 7. So, well, I mean, it is between 6, 7 feet tall. So,
goodness gracious.
All right. Well, I think that I think an 8's more than enough for that. I don't see why that. There's no imbalance there. It's just that most of what I have
absolutely fabulous.
Is my that's more of my just my personal things with how I do my lore and just how I view my dragons. So, you know, it's a personal thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That brings, with a 8 out of 10, that brings Hecate's new average to a 7.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Is
that up from 6 now? Did that bring us up from 6?
I can check. I can remove the score and see if it goes down.
I don't remember if
it might be.
I don't remember if it was like a high 6 before, and now we finally got up there. Because I feel like with an 8, Hecate usually gets some decent scores. So
Hecate's got some amazing scores. I feel like. Let's see. What did it just change to?
What did it just change to? Wow, we've had 33 people visit the website. 33 people.
It was a 7 before.
Oh, okay.
It was a 7 before. I don't know what the exact decimal points are, but
33 people have visited the website.
We have love
42 visits, so several of them have come back. But no one has purchased anything. I don't expect purchases to be right away. Though I will say I am half surprised I didn't get a sale the very first day of the stream, because I kind of was wondering if Soul would just come in out of nowhere and just be like, I want that one.
We're taking it. We're taking it. But I totally get we're going to need some people to have some time to peruse what they actually want. Although if Hecate was there for the entire stream, then he knows exactly what each one of them rolled.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who was there for the whole thing. What's wrong with my hair? What's wrong with my hair, Foxer? What you got a problem with?
He's like, you parted it the wrong way.
I wear it the same way every day. There's just like 6 or 7 different ways I wear it, but I wear it all of those 6 or 7 different ways all the time. Was it a 7 or an 8 on Discord? It was 7. No, it's supposed to be an 8.
Your average is a 7. Your score was an 8.
Yes. Score of an
Discord,
8, average of 7.
I don't know if somebody can correct me.
Yeah, no, 8 out of 10, average of 7.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure I didn't screw it up.
Which rock dye are you talking about? The red gemstone or the pink quartz? That's the big difference, because there were the two, because I'm assuming you're talking about the artifacts and not the glow in the dark dye. But I did actually do, if you want to see them in a new light, both literally both the YouTube channel and our TikTok channel just posted 2 new videos, 2 new shorts, and those shorts are of the pink quartz and the gemstone individually. I don't know what got into me with Vortex's hair. Must be looking at it close and TikTok messes with the Mandela effect.
Wild.
Well, it's so funny because like I don't know where you got in the mindset like my hair is always like this, because it's funny. Like I did this originally for for my music, and then I ended up doing the ponytail for stream. So it's like I only do this almost like instinctually, but it's not meant like I'm supposed to be in especially with this shirt, I should be in a ponytail because it's my avatar. But yeah, it's so funny that Foxer's so keen on my hair being like this, which is I feel like, yes, it's what I do a lot. But
I mean, that's fair. But
I guess it's whenever my hair is down, I guess I do put it like this. But I feel like on TikTok, my hair is much more just back and regular. Ooh, yes, please. Yeah.
Very much so.
Yes, we're totally there, dude.
There it is. Culture skills
I mean, absolutely.
Look at that. There you go.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So that's not how I remember it. The one that was made of feel of actual rock. One made of actual rock. Yeah. So that had to have been either the red gemstone or the pink quartz. So let's see. Actually, what I can do is I can pull it up on here. I mean, why not? You know,
I mean, we got it like that.
I could just take y'all straight to the website, and we could check out Misfit Gamer Studios together. Hey, look at that!
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
That's our hosts.
Nice.
Yeah, Kage hasn't even gone to our website yet.
First of all, yes, I have. In fact, I told you about how I actually didn't tell you. So I was looking through one of our pages, and I wanted to let you know that on our mobile, some of the text like overlaps each other.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like a huge deal or if it's anything.
Right now, it's not. It's
about.
It's tweaks that I have to make over time.
Sure. I figured it was going to be like that, but I figured I'd at least just let you know. But I love how everything is so smooth. I love the color scheme that we have. I love the back and forth. You know,
a little bit of a schedule, which is nice. I kind of like that we can just. I have to keep updating this. I can't just do reoccurring things. So this one will probably.
Oh, we can't?
Yeah, so this one will probably not get updated that often, unless I just sit down from one afternoon and just do it for the rest of the year. But here is like here's the whole reason why we have a website. This page right here.
Yep.
The personality profiles page. 100 roles, 10 stats, 1 personality. Get to know your dad before you buy. My 2 favorite new things to say. But I do like this. Yep, we got like the method, the profile, the proof, and here they are. I do kind of like how easy it was.
No, the way these are like set up and laid out look fabulous. And if I recall correctly, don't the ones with the full sets have the full sets next to them?
In some of the
pictures?
Yeah, like this one.
Yeah.
So that one will actually show you the set. The minis will show you the set with them in the background. And then this one will show you the set in the background.
Cling.
So here is the ones I think Soul is talking about. So here is our red gemstone, our first artifact die.
Love it. That one is beautiful.
And then this is our pink quartz gemstone die. That's up for sale right now. But if I go to our TikTok channel, the gemstones are just pretty. Yeah, especially that this is probably my favorite one. Like it was so hard. These are so hefty too when you roll them.
Yeah,
like, they are hefty. Like these are every other dice is like 0.2 ounces. These are half an ounce. So these are like more than double.
Oh dang!
But it's so clean. Like the detail on like the actual numbers. There's actual like roughness. But here we go. So here's For You Soul. Send your evil twin page on Discord. Okay, we'll take a look at that. So here's the newest ones that I just did. Here's the gemstone. Wait for it.
Oh, that's
and that's just with like
fire.
a little pen light behind it.
That's so sick. So one of my buddies a while ago actually got me a dice tray that has lights, like black lights lining it. And
that's dope.
It looks so freaking cool. I'd love to roll a dice like that in it. In fact, if you'd like, I can let you borrow it since I don't really use it that often, and you might be able to like roll some stuff in there.
Yeah. And this is our quartz one. So little pink quartz you can kind of see.
Oh, is this the other one you put the light behind?
Yeah.
That's clean. It literally looks like a light bulb that you turn on.
Right? And like
So
I'm hoping
crazy.
that people don't like realize that it's like not, you know, just a flashlight. Like the flashlight's behind it. I'm not trying to hide it. But it's just trying to like, I do like how that just like glows.
It's so sick.
It looks a lot better in Pokemon, or in Pokemon. I'm reading as I'm speaking. It looks a lot better in real life. But this one I was super happy with. I liked how this one turned out. Just
yes, absolutely.
Just it might be my favorite one of the entire collection right now. Oh, and this one I just posted this one.
I love the slow-mo rolls.
Wait,
you gotta do more slow-mo rolls. Slow-mo rolls.
Oh, chat, can't see it. It's too low.
Oh, they can't see the roll.
There we go. Oh, you know why? Hang on. There you go. So this is my newest one. I should have just kept on going until it rolled its favorite number. That would have been perfect. But it took so long just to get this roll actually right.
So it actually landed by the thing?
It actually hits and moves the card. You see that? Like,
yeah.
So I think I will be doing a lot more of these little slow-mo rolls to show off the die in like light, like that. Especially if you give me that lined one with black light.
Yeah.
I could definitely show off slow-mo rolls like that.
I gotta find that. I'm looking through my bag when I get home tonight.
And there's just one of the little like attempts at. I'm just trying to learn how to just what's catching. You know what's eye catching, right?
These are clean, man. I like it. I love the vibes. I love the yes. I love some of the music choice. Like just that alone is a vibe.
Well, and that's why I'm just like you gotta go with the vibe. And I'm like, these dice, they're glow in the dark. Like you gotta have some pumped up music. These aren't like, you know, creepy evil dice.
Yeah.
These are just like these are dice you're gonna have.
These
fun
are party dice, man.
I do. Vixie was telling me of ways I should try to figure out how to actually show off that they're glow in the dark. Like actually like get some black light or get something to like.
Yeah.
So that thing I could do. Your roller. Oh,
yeah. Look at that big boy.
Muscle.
Come check this.
The entire Prestige collection.
Goodness. Look at these suckers.
I do like that I like that I'm able to show off each of the profiles a little bit.
Yeah.
Just kind of getting an idea of what, you know, is all of this about.
That's so clean. That's so clean.
Killing me more than my enemy. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, this was a cool little shot. Just trying to show them all off and like again, just trying to figure out ways to.
I think that was the first one that I actually got to see.
Because this was when they were all finally rolled. Oh, my messiness in the back. Look. This was the very first one we did.
I love this. I love this. The sound. Yeah.
Come and look at this.
Come and look at this. Look at this. Look at this here.
Oh, you know why? It's because when I record it, I don't flip the video. That's the problem. That's why my hair is probably wrong.
Interesting.
I probably don't flip the video
That's
the right
fair.
way. Too bad. Deal with it. But yeah, if anybody sees these, you know, I'm trying to get better. I'm just gonna keep on, you know, being creative until videos pop off, and then I'll probably just redo whatever made those videos pop off.
Works.
But
yeah,
I'm, you know, if y'all have ideas of, you know, camera angles, pictures, I don't know if I should keep doing videos or if I should do also just post pictures on TikTok of the die. So yeah, I really do like that slow-mo one. I think I'll do more of those. But yeah, gemstone die are up for sale right now. I will update the timestamp so the VOD will be able to be seen. And then, yeah, all the dice are up for sale right now. beautiful.
Freaking epic.
And oh yeah, and we have all of these. I love the fact that the website does this, where when I categorize them, so you can just go like just into artifacts, and then like just see certain collections.
Got
so
you.
Yes. Like, and I do like it because again, we try to budget everything within their classes. So if you have a certain budget, you can come to like just the classics with their personality profile, and you kind of can expect what always what you're going to expect to pay.
Right.
I really like that. I think that it's better than having all of these dice that are just crazy and constantly under different price points.
Yeah.
Especially seeing 2 die that are very similar. I just feel like if you know what the category is, you can be confident in knowing if it'll fit your budget. So let everybody tell everybody that that MisfitGamersStudios.com/dice profiles. Don't forget the hyphen. And the Dice Profiler on TikTok are live. So go tell everybody we need to have all of the hype that we can.
People.
But we are insanely happy with it. I'm insanely proud of myself for all of the work that I did. Just making Misfit Gamer Studios an official LLC and officially just launching everything where the Dice Profiler OSR is working out. So at this point, we just need to get our name out there. We need the support. So I'm not going to ask anybody ever to go purchase something from us. If there is something that you like and that you want to have, make that decision for yourself and make sure that it is a financially good decision. But let people know about us, because the more people that know about us, the more people that are in a position can do so. Because again, I'm not going to sit there and beg for purchases, but
sure.
I can ask you to share our stuff and tell people who like to, tell Dice Goblins out there that they can get to know their die before they buy.
Where they can get to know their die before they buy.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the dopest thing, to be very real.
So we are good to go. I think that's his cord. I think that's his charging cord. So I think you're fine. But at least now we know where Foxer's mind is at and where Foxer's watching.
Oh my gosh, you guys are wild. Listen. I forgot my laptop. I have no idea how it happened. I brought my bag, I got everything, and it just wasn't in there. I was so upset again.
So
upset. This is what happens when you have ADHD brain. Like it goes that way. All right. So I got this cord just hanging out in my lap, having to copy all of our chats. Ghetto.
All of the chats.
All the
deal
chats.
with it. You know what I have to do? I have to run 2 TikTok channels.
That's way harder. That's way harder. I'm not gonna lie.
But you know what? We're trying. I mean, look at that. I have wow. 11 minutes ago, 33 people viewed our website or viewed our
like
profile.
at once. Everyone was there.
Well, just 11 as of 11 minutes ago, I just got a whole bunch of updates about people checking out our
the Dice
channel.
Profiler.
So
sick.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
Hell yeah.
Hells yeah.
Let's go. I think following some very select people has helped get my name out there.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten some follow backs from people following up.
That's dope.
So it's nice to see people checking out the videos. The video numbers are going up. So several of them have over 100 views, which is absolutely what we want to see. Oh my gosh.
Disrespectful.
Sweet. All right. Well, I think that'll be it for us today. Again, Dice Profiler is up, so go check them out on TikTok and YouTube, The Dice Profiler. And of course, our shop, Misfit Gamer Studios /Dice Profiles. Don't forget the hyphen in Dice Profiles. Link is in chat. You can also get all of our links on our link tree. And of course, you can join our Discord if you want to join the community that helped build all of this. And eventually, maybe you can own your own set of Misfit Gamer Studios dice that have a personality. But you can always join us. Right now we're doing probably once a month streams for new personalities or as new stock comes in and becomes available. So if you're interested, I will post about that in Discord whenever I go live for that. But otherwise, we've made it. We did it. We're just now back to kind of normal.
Back to our
Friday
vibe.
will be another OSR testing.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Join us for OSR on Friday. Otherwise, I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend, and I hope you have a great week ahead of you. Cheers.
Deuces, my friends.